The way we produce food is evolving at a pace we've never seen before. One of the most innovative developments in food technology is lab-grown meat. Imagine enjoying your favorite steak or chicken nugget, but knowing it was created in a lab, not by an animal. This new frontier in food production is being driven by artificial intelligence and cutting-edge technology. But what exactly is lab-grown meat? How is it made? And what impact will it have on our food industry, health, and society? In today's video, we'll dive deep into lab-grown meat and its potential to change the future of food. What is lab-grown meat? Lab-grown meat, also known as cultured meat, cell-based meat, or cultivated meat, is meat produced by cultivating animal cells directly, in a controlled environment, rather than raising and slaughtering the animal. The process involves taking a small sample of animal tissue, typically through a biopsy, and then growing it in a bioreactor. This tissue is then developed into muscle fibers, the same tissue that we consume as meat, resulting in a product that looks and tastes identical to traditional meat. The most groundbreaking aspect of lab-grown meat is that it offers all the benefits of conventional meat without the environmental and ethical costs of animal farming. It is produced by mimicking the natural growth processes of animals, but within a highly controlled lab environment. This means that no animals are harmed during production, and the process uses significantly fewer resources, including water and land. How is lab-grown meat made? So, how exactly is lab-grown meat made? The process starts with a small sample of animal cells. This could be a biopsy from an animal or even stem cells, which are versatile cells that can differentiate into any type of tissue. These cells are placed in a nutrient-rich medium inside a bioreactor, a special machine that mimics the conditions of an animal's body. The bioreactor provides the necessary warmth, oxygen, and nutrients to help the cells grow and multiply. Over time, the cells begin to form muscle tissue, which is essentially the building block of meat. The bioreactor can be adjusted to ensure optimal growth by controlling factors such as temperature, pH, and nutrient concentration. Artificial intelligence plays a crucial role in this process. AI algorithms are used to monitor and optimize the conditions inside the bioreactor, ensuring that the cells grow efficiently and yield high-quality meat. Thanks to AI, scientists are now able to fine-tune the conditions to accelerate the growth of meat, make it more cost-effective, and ensure consistency in the final product. The data collected by AI is analyzed to predict how to best optimize cell growth, allowing for a more efficient and scalable production process. Types of lab-grown meat. There are several types of lab-grown meat in development, including beef, chicken, pork, and seafood. The key goal is to replicate the taste, texture, and nutritional profile of traditional meat, while reducing the negative environmental impacts associated with industrial meat production. Beef is one of the most popular types of lab-grown meat being developed, with companies working to create everything from burgers to premium cuts like steaks. One of the challenges with beef is replicating the texture and marbling of the meat, which requires a complex arrangement of muscle fibers and fat. However, researchers are making incredible strides, and lab-grown beef burgers are already making their way to some high-end restaurants and markets. Lab-grown chicken has also been making headlines in recent years. Chicken is particularly important because of its widespread popularity and the fact that poultry farming has a significant environmental impact. Companies have already created lab-grown chicken nuggets and are working toward producing whole cuts of chicken. Pork and seafood are also on the horizon, with companies exploring how to replicate the textures and flavors of fish, shrimp, and even more exotic options like lobster. These are still in the early stages, but could soon be part of the mainstream food market. Impact on the population, food industry, and health. The impact of lab-grown meat on the population, the food industry, and health could be transformative. As the global population grows, the demand for meat continues to rise. Traditional farming, however, is becoming unsustainable. In fact, livestock farming accounts for around 14.5% of global greenhouse gas emissions, a significant contributor to climate change. Lab-grown meat offers a more sustainable solution. Studies have shown that producing lab-grown meat uses significantly less land, water, and energy compared to traditional livestock farming. It could help reduce the strain on our environment, mitigate deforestation, and decrease carbon emissions, all while meeting the ever-growing demand for meat. Health-wise, lab-grown meat could also offer substantial benefits. Traditional meat production is often linked to foodborne illnesses, antibiotic resistance, and other public health concerns. Lab-grown meat could help alleviate these issues. Since the meat is grown in a sterile lab environment, the risk of contamination is much lower. In addition, lab-grown meat can be engineered to have a healthier nutritional profile, with less fat, no antibiotics, and potentially added nutrients like omega-3 fatty acids. Another aspect to consider is animal welfare. Lab-grown meat could address the ethical concerns associated with factory farming and animal slaughter. With lab-grown meat, animals don't need to be raised and killed for food, which could greatly reduce the cruelty inherent in traditional meat production. Potential concerns and controversies. However, like any new technology, lab-grown meat has its share of concerns and controversies. One of the biggest issues is cost. Currently, lab-grown meat is still expensive to produce, and as a result, it's not yet commercially viable for large-scale production. However, experts predict that as the technology improves and production scales up, the cost will come down, making it more accessible to the average consumer. Ethically, while lab-grown meat reduces the need for animal slaughter, some critics argue that it's still not natural. There's an ongoing debate about the role of biotechnology in food production, with some questioning whether the use of genetic engineering and lab techniques makes the meat less authentic. Additionally, there are concerns about how people will react to eating something produced in a lab, particularly with respect to the perception of its safety and realness. Health concerns are another point of contention. While lab-grown meat is produced in sterile environments, there are still questions about the long-term effects of consuming food created from cultured cells. How safe is it in the long run? What impact could it have on human health? These questions remain largely unanswered as the industry is still in its infancy. Countries that have legalized or banned lab-grown meat. So, where is lab-grown meat legal, and where is it banned? Currently, only a few countries have approved lab-grown meat for commercial sale. Singapore became the first country to approve cultured meat in 2020, allowing companies to sell lab-grown chicken. The United States has made significant strides, with the FDA and USDA working together to establish regulations for cultured meat. Several U.S. states, like California and New York, have legalized lab-grown meat for production, while other states remain cautious. Meanwhile, European countries, particularly Italy and Switzerland, have shown resistance to lab-grown meat. These countries have raised concerns about the environmental, cultural, and ethical implications, leading to bans or hesitation in approving cultured meat for sale. The European Union is still in the process of evaluating lab-grown meat, with regulations expected in the coming years. Lab-grown meat is undoubtedly one of the most exciting and controversial innovations in food technology. With the potential to reshape how we produce, consume, and think about meat, it could offer solutions to some of the world's most pressing issues, from climate change to food security. But as with all new technologies, we must tread carefully, addressing the concerns, ethical dilemmas, and uncertainties as they arise. So, what do you think? Is lab-grown meat the future of food, or is it a step too far? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content on the latest tech and innovations.